dive into the Pittsburgh Steelers once again. You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a very interesting team. But the question is, where are we today with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2021? Where are we at? Okay, here's where we're at. What have the Pittsburgh Steelers become? Right now today, the Pittsburgh Steelers are McDonald's. Okay? And you can take that as a good statement or a bad statement, depending on how you view McDonald's. Personally, I don't think that that's a negative statement on my part. I love McDonald's. I love their cheeseburgers, their chicken McNuggets, the Big Mac, the strawberry pies, the cherry pies, apple pies, the ice cream's pretty good, all that stuff. I am a huge fan of McDonald's, ironically, okay? But here's the thing. I think we all can agree that being a huge fan of McDonald's these days is no longer the cool thing on the block. Several years ago, loving McDonald's was cool, because you had the Happy Meal, you had the little playground in certain areas. If you go into McDonald's, when I was little, I used to go to the little playground area at McDonald's and play around, have a good time with friends. You had the French fries, the strawberry sundaes, and you still have a lot of those things on the menu, but here's the thing. McDonald's was one of the first restaurants to really break through and be a trailblazer in the fast food industry. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. That organization used to be the trailblazer, the eye-opening franchise that everyone talked about. And several years ago even, people were saying, man, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they might be the next dynasty. Heading into the Super Bowl versus Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, that was on the table for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had a chance to win 3 Super Bowls within a 10-year period, but they obviously fell short. And now, today, 10, 11 years later, it's more cool to be a fan of the Packers or the Rams or the Chiefs. That's just the reality. That's my opinion. I think that right now today, there's more of a cool factor to the Chiefs and the Rams and even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. And you can say what you want about the Packers, but the Packers are talked about a lot. The Aaron Rodgers news, they've won a lot of games. They've been to back-to-back NFC Championship games. Is anyone going to be surprised if Green Bay wins a Super Bowl this year? I personally won't be. However, I will be surprised if Pittsburgh wins the Super Bowl this year because I think Pittsburgh's Super Bowl window has kind of closed, And here's the thing. I talked about how it's no longer cool to love McDonald's. I'm going to kind of make a little analogy right here. If you are a guy and you know this girl from school or maybe from work and you have a thing for her and you potentially are asking her out for the first time, or maybe if you're a girl and the guy asks you, where do you want to go on a date? Or like I said, if you're a guy and you ask a girl out on a date and he or she says, I want to go to McDonald's. And that's your first time asking the person out. Let's pretend it's the first time you're asking them out. Or they say that they want to go out somewhere and they say, I want to go to McDonald's. Aren't you going to kind of look at them funny? Wouldn't they much rather go to Chick-fil-A? There seems to be more flair to Chick-fil-A. If you're asking someone out for the first date to McDonald's, I don't know if it's the cool thing to do anymore. I think there's a little bit more flair to the Chick-fil-A's of the world. And by the way, I rather prefer a more fancy restaurant or maybe going to the park, maybe to get ice cream or something like that. Or maybe you go to a movie. I don't know. But there seems to be more flair to Chick-fil-A or even Popeyes and Raising Cane's, chicken places that I really like. The popularity of McDonald's has kind of died down. McDonald's used to be the standard of fast food. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers, same thing with them. They used to be the standard of the NFL, along with the Patriots. But now, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Ravens, and the 49ers, those teams are the standard today. Pittsburgh is still near the top, but they're not the top dog like they used to be. And there are more teams that people are talking about and more teams that people are interested in. Listen, if you go somewhere If you go anywhere in the world, you can find Pittsburgh Steelers gear. Just like if you go anywhere in the world, you'll find a McDonald's spot probably. Okay, but is it the most popular spot on the block anymore? I think not. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are the standard of football anymore. Just like I don't think McDonald's is the standard of fast food anymore. It's still a popular brand, but not quite as popular as it used to be. So that's where I'm at with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're McDonald's. They're the McDonald's of football, and you could take that as a good thing or with a grain of salt. It's all dependent on how you feel. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.